talk to you about again a case of Ebstein anomaly, and you can refer it to my previous YouTube video where I described how to prognosticate Ebstein anomaly prenatally doing a fetal echo. I discussed with you a case today where there is a divergence of prognostic markers. Now, you see, this is a typical case of an Ebstein's anomaly where you see a TR jet coming right close to the apex. This is away from the insertion of the mitral valve. There is a large right atrium, large tricuspid regurgitation, cardiomegaly, and the same thing what you see on a three-dimensional fancy view. Now, if I go to the short axis view and I see the aorta and I see the pulmonary artery, and this is a cross section of aorta, you look at the pulmonary artery is very narrow and it is actually the valve wasn't opening. And we calculated the annulus diameter of the pulmonary artery and the annulus diameter of an aorta, and that is the difference between two. Obviously, the pulmonary artery is quite small. Here, we thought that this is the pulmonary atresia. So we have to define whether this pulmonary atresia is anatomical or physiological because of the severe TR and poor right ventricle, which is unable to pump the blood into the pulmonary artery, and that's why pulmonary artery flow is small and pulmonary artery is small. So we used these two criteria for prognostication. The commonest what we have been doing in the past is GOSE score or Silla-Major scoring system. And second recent one which I discussed in my last video is a TRIPP score, which is more hemodynamic physiological. Yes, don't forget to subscribe in case you find these videos useful. You know, Silla-Major scoring or a GOSE score is something like a right atrialized and the right atrium, that is the atrialized part of the right ventricle and the right atrium, and rest of the word, RV, LV and LA put together. If you divide this area by RV area, LA, LV area and LA area, that is what we call as a GOSE score, and if the GOSE score is more than 1, it is a bad prognostic sign. More than 1.5 is quite a worse prognosis, right? So let us apply these scores to our case. So this is the case on a 2D. You see this on a 4-chamber view, and then once we freeze it and we calculate the score, we see the right atrium including the atrialized portion of the right ventricle and rest of the right ventricle, left ventricle and left atrium. You see the score is 0.88. So that means it is not really bad. It's not more than 1. It's less than 1. Okay, so this tells us that prognosis is okay. Done. But let us apply a hemodynamic or a newer tool, what is called the TRIPP score. TRIPP score involves so many things. One is the TR velocity. What the TR velocity is going to tell you, in case the right ventricle is of good dimensions and is contracting good, systolically functions are fine, then it should be able to generate large or a high velocity jet. So if TR is more than 2.8, that means the RV is good, point is 0. So not only that, the right ventricle affects the left ventricle and that affects the tie index. So the performance of left ventricle also is considered important in this TRIPP scoring system. Pulmonary flow again and the ductal flow tells us the pressure difference between aorta and pulmonary artery, and again tells you the health of the right ventricle and the tricuspid regurgitation. More blood goes by tricuspid regurgitation to the atrium, less is available forward towards the pulmonary artery. So that's the whole theory about it. So number 1, TR velocity. Here the TR velocity is 2.3, that is less than 2.5, not a good sign. The tie index is abnormal. Normal is about 0.5 upper limit, and this is LV tie index which is 0.72, not good. the pulmonary forward flow across the pulmonary valve, there was no forward flow. It was only a retrograde flow till the pulmonary valve. There was no pulmonary regurgitation, no flow across the pulmonary valve, absent, and a reversal of flow in the ductus. Let us put them together into a score. So if we put them together into a score, what we see here is that TR velocity was less. So that means 2 points. Tie index was here, 1 point. PA flow direction absent, 2 points. Ductal flow restriction, flow direction retrograde, 2 points. Total is 7 out of 8. So which is quite a bad prognosis. So this is what we wanted to tell you, that less than 5 is good, more than 5 is a very poor prenatal outcome. So in this case, we had a discordant between the GOSE score, which said everything is good, but the TRIPP score, which is the newer score, said that the outcome is bad. So I suggest all of you to please move to this TRIPP score. It is not very difficult to perform, because you can take a TR velocity, you can do a tie index of LV, and you can see the flow across pulmonary valve and the ductal flow reversal. If you have all four, put them together into TRIPP score, which is more prognosticatory better than our previous GOSE score. So I think I'll suggest you happy learning, and in case you want that, you should be notified whenever I post a new video, a good idea to subscribe the channel. Bye for now.